What's going on, everyone? I'm Encore. This is Tomorrow Never Comes. And in today's video, I want to break down how I plan on making money in the crypto space. This is obviously not financial advice or investment advice for any of you, but maybe something I touch on today can help you get to the place that you'd like to get to in your crypto journey. Or if you're sitting on the fence and you don't even understand how money can be made or profits can be made in the crypto space, this may be the video for you. And so first, my thought process. When I first got into crypto, like many others, this was over 2 years ago, either you kind of don't know what you're doing, you dabble in, and maybe you catch it on a good run like I did, and you think things will always continue in this fashion. And if you're a seasoned investor somewhere else, you'll have the psychology down, which is very important for investing in anywhere, not just crypto. But you understand to take your profits along the way. Right? Just for a rainy day or just for when the market dips, because it's not if, it's when the market's going to dip, which it has over the last year or so, right? 8 to 12 months or so. So the problem is that you'll hear a lot of people say hodl or hodl or however you want to pronounce it. It's just hold on for dear life. And I do fit into that camp when it comes to my blue chip coins. And I'm going to go further into that. But I would like to make this a full-time career. I'm in it, right? And I say career only because that's the best bucket it can fit into. But this is my part of my life for the foreseeable future, if not the rest of my life. So the key is how do I generate some revenue to sustain me as I go forward? Like it or not, you got to pay your bills at the very least. Otherwise, or on top of that, any revenue that you do have or cash or that you have on the side will allow you to invest in other things, do other things, whether it be in crypto or outside. So it gives you options, right? And so this is really my thought process now, and I'm trying to organize what I would like to do going forward. And so this is just the beginning process of it all. And as I get more refined and sharper in each of these areas, I can share that with you and we can kind of dive a little bit deeper. But I just want to touch on some of the areas I'm looking at. And at the end, I'm going to touch on some areas that, have been recommended to me, but I'm kind of unsure about. There's some resistance there. So let's just jump right into it. All right. So first thing, like I mentioned, you jump into crypto, you want coins. You want Bitcoin, you want ETH, you want something else, and you expect it to 2x, 10x, 1000x, whatever it is, right? 10 times your money, 100 times your money. The gains in crypto are astronomical, right? Those are facts. The ability for it to come back down and correct is also astronomical. So it's very volatile, but within volatility is where you make your generational wealth. So let's not make that a negative. It is what it is, and you just have to navigate that, right? So blue chips, Bitcoin and ETH, those for me are more holding on for longer periods of time, if not forever. It's just the way that, especially the more I dive into Bitcoin. ETH is actually a great utility coin to have, meaning you can use it to do other things, whether it's NFTs or, transactions will facilitate transactions for other things. So that's more useful in terms of, not I want to say useful, there's more utility to it. Okay. There's more things that you may need it for that's not specifically just a hodl or hodl ETH. All right. And then altcoins, basically any other coin. You want to look at your top 25, great projects, even top 50, top 100, pretty good. Outside of that, they get a little bit more speculative, and then you can kind of play it and see how things go. Always try and take profits where you can. All right. And that actually applies more to smaller size accounts. What's crazy is a lot of people say hodl, like I do. But it also depends on what you're trying to do. And let's say you have $5,000 or $10,000 in the market. You want to try and scale that up. And 10,000 of Bitcoin, it's not going to get you much Bitcoin, right? And then unless you can continually add to that position, what do you do? So look, everyone's got their strategy. I don't hate on anybody for what their strategy is. I'm just saying that there's a way that maybe you can make some money that's a little bit more recurring than sitting on something and holding forever. Having said that, for me, I am a Bitcoin hodler. I do not use it. I do not sell it. I don't do anything. I just accumulate and dollar cost average when I can. So I want to make it very clear that is the camp that I fall into. So little old lady strategy, what is this? Well, there's a influencer that I follow and continue to follow named DaVinci J15. And on YouTube and on Twitter, more YouTube is where I kind of followed him. He has this strategy called the little old lady strategy, which I have not really implemented very well. So that's why it's in here, because that's what I want to do going forward. It's really all it is once you double your investment, you take your investment back out, but you don't take it back out in fiat. You don't take it back out in cash. You take it back, you take the profits in Bitcoin. And maybe that seems a little bit strange if you're not in the space, but you can actually decide, I want to take X amount out, but in the form of Bitcoin. And the whole point of that is because Bitcoin is here to stay. It's the blue chip. It's the king of the jungle. And as Bitcoin moves, the market moves. So the more you can stack up of Bitcoin, the better off you're going to be. So there is that strategy. Okay. Staking. Staking is another one that's not really looked at when you first come in the market, only because it's boring, right? It's plain old. You put your assets into a pool or lock it up on an exchange, and you're just going to get passive returns from it, right? Whether it's 6%, 18%, whatever it is, significant more than what's out in traditional banking. But, when you first get in, you want everything to be action-based, like really active. I want to do this, get in here, jump in here, and kind of locking or putting your money on the side or your asset on the side and just letting it build interest is typically not the first thing that's looked at or even high on the priority list. It wasn't for me. Now it is. So that's another way to generate some stable revenue coming forward. And next one is trading. Okay, so I'm not a big trader. Very, very small portion of my portfolio is there. A lot of it was just manual and mainly just Bitcoin and ETH, right? So if the price drops significantly, reading the charts or whatever, try and get in at a good price and just, take some profits out along the way and try and cash out as much as I can just with that small portion of my trading portfolio. All right. What I have gotten into recently, and I don't know all the details, but I have initiated it, is what's called a trading bot. And so that's where you set the parameters for a bot to trade within a very defined price point. And it'll just kind of buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. And for me, the trading pair is ETH and Bitcoin. So it just fluctuates between the two of what I have in that account. So it just really initiated about 2 weeks ago. So we're going to see how that plays out. And hey, I know the one who helped me set it up, a good friend of mine, has done significantly well with it, significant gains with it. And so I'm just kind of see if that would be another a layer to the streams of income. And DAOs. So decentralized autonomous organization. There are a bunch of them. All they are really are smart contracts, and they'll be defined a certain way. Everyone's rewards will be different, but literally you'll buy in, invest however much you want, and there will be rewards given back to you. All right. Now those rewards may be in the form of a token or some other reward that you can kind of use for, like, sell them off, get some gains there, or put them back into the DAO. And the DAO is, like it says, it's autonomous, so it's automated. There's no one controlling it, not a single entity, not a few high up executives that are controlling your money. It's a smart contract. It's an algorithm. It's software. So things are automated and should be more sustainable because no one's really kind of controlling that. However, some of them are riskier than others. I'm in one currently right now. Doesn't seem risky. And I'm not going to mention it because I want to see how it plays out. And if it plays out well, I'll definitely make a video on that as well. So those are really the coins related one. The next one here, NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Now, if you are someone who knows nothing about it, it seems to be looked at like it's just a JPEG, it's a right-click save as, or it looks like a bunch of hieroglyphics and it doesn't make sense. But there is a real landscape for NFTs. We are just scratching the surface, just looking at the tip of the iceberg. If you guys look back at any of my videos where I showed how Tom Brady's NFT alone profited me $20,000 in US. So there's significant, and that's nothing. That's like cute money, okay, when it comes to the NFT space. But there is I'm not going to say a I put a blueprint here. There's so many people that say you just do these things, 10 things, and you're going to do amazing. It's not guaranteed. Now you have a better chance, and I'm currently putting one system together or blueprint together, but there's no guarantee. All right. But there's so many different strategies. Are you getting in at a whitelist? Are you getting in at a pre-sale, public sale, secondary market? You can kind of gauge if you're on a whitelist. A lot of times these things will at least 2, 3, 4x when they go to the public sale. Okay, so there's all kinds of strategies you can use to at least, if not recoup your initial investment, is actually make some profit. And that was a mistake I made as well with NFTs. I bought them for me. I like the art. I like the theme, the community around it. But the smarter thing would have been was you buy a bunch. If you can only buy one, that's fine. But if you can buy multiple, is you sell half of them when there's a profit to be made, and you keep the rest in case things, pop, and you can make significant returns down the road. That's the strategy I would have employed as opposed to just holding them and seeing where they go. So there is definitely a strategy in there to make some profits. And I put NFT tokens here is that a lot of NFT projects will have now releasing their own tokens. So you have the NFT on one side, but then you have the NFT token on the other side, which you can sell freely on the secondary market or do certain things with it. You can also stake those and get rewards on those. So the NFT tokens end up becoming like a cryptocurrency, like a coin, and can be treated as such. So again, another way to make revenue. All right. So the next one is pre-sale investments. Now, how do you get into these? These are usually projects that come, they're looking for investment. Listen, in the space, especially in a bull run in the crypto space, they're often not looking for capital alone. They want someone who can bring more to the table. There's lots of money out there to be thrown at any crypto project. So it's who you are, who are you connected to, what can you bring, all those types of things, right? Now, I myself am involved in a investment club through London Real. Brian Rose, the founder, he's the head of that club. London Real has its own London Real Ventures. So we kind of have London Real's ear, right? If something's hot and makes sense, then London Real Ventures can potentially come aboard as well as the club. So it's very interesting. And that's what I will say to anyone out there is if you can get into groups of people who are already in pre-sales or have experience or have something else to bring to the table, it just makes you more of a draw for any of these projects to come through. And the reason why, and again, I put networking, social media, conferences, all that, where you can gain access to these clubs or different people, not only just from an investment side, but the project side, right? People who may want you on as an advisor, or if you have some technical skills or skills that they need, you could be on the team. And so you're going to get, you'll get those NFT tokens that I talked about, but you'll get tokens for the project, right? And they can allocate some to you, and that's great. And what's nice is when you're in these pre-sale investments, there's no real bearing on bull or bear market. Now there is in terms of that token, right? Like what's the price of the token? Is it hot? Is there more people? Are there more people in the space looking to launch a project? I mean, all those things, yes, they do correlate. But in traditional finance, when you invest in something that's pre-IPO before it goes public, your time horizon is like 7 to 10 years, 7 to 8 years, somewhere in there, right? That you're going to get any return on your investment, if you get any at all. Here, the space is so dynamic. You're literally looking within, 12 to 18 months of if you get any allocations that something should be happening, right? It may be longer. Now, that also does not mean you dump your tokens or your coins on the open market, because you're trying to bring reputation. You're trying to have a reputation, some credibility, and dumping your tokens on the market is never a good idea. But can you take your investment back, your initial investment, and then you can take that and, move that to another project? Yeah, why not? Absolutely. So there's just another stream of income there. All right. Next one over here, speaker and influencer. So I put must provide value. Now, so many, not just in crypto, but so many everywhere, is we have this, this grandiose notion about ourselves of how much, we know or we can share or the influence we can provide. Like all of us have that. Very few actually deliver on that value. And that's what I'm trying to build. So as I mentioned in the beginning, like this crypto is my life. This is not only my life in terms of I want to generate revenue. I see the potential. Not a potential across many projects, but already what's there. I see the potential for financial freedom. I see what's capable for the average Joe who could never ever imagine to do the things you're able to do in crypto and traditional finance. It's impossible. So I want to bring that to the masses. I would love to share that, whatever knowledge I have, the experience I have, and the experience I continue to gain, and the network I continue to gain. Like there's so much knowledge out there that if you're not plugged in, you never get. And so by me plugging in, I would love to share that in my way to everybody else. So look, do you get paid for it and all that kind of stuff? Absolutely, right? There's perks to being a speaker and an influencer. So that is another way to generate some income as well. All right. So here's one. So at the beginning, I mentioned something I was unsure about. All right. And these are a couple of things that I'm unsure about, mainly the first one here, but the first one under 5149. But so why do I say 5149? And this was something I've taken from Gary Vee. Is 51% is for whoever you are giving value to, and 49% is for you. That's the pie for give and take. There should always be more value to somebody else that you are delivering your message or your information to, as opposed to you getting the majority of the value for your interaction. And so the resistance here for me, like just courses, seminars, and events. Okay, for me to actually create a course, I've recommended many times, or to hold a couple, 1-2 day seminar, or to hold events, hold conferences myself, or whatnot. Like, I mean, all those recommendations have been given to create some revenue, and they're not bad. Okay, where the resistance come is, especially for courses, is everyone and their mother is making a course about something. And I don't frown on them. That's fine. I haven't taken their course, so I don't know. My life has actually been changed because of a course. That was the London Real course, the DeFi Accelerator, and then on to the Kings, and then the Investment Club. So I cannot underestimate the value of a course, right? That's just not possible anymore because I see the value in it. But for me, I don't want to put out a course just to put out a course to make money. And everyone says that, and I get it, right? At the end of the day, you have to make money. That's fine. But I want to make that course where the value is not even 51.49. It's like 60-40, where the audience gets 60 and I get 40, right? And that 40 really just allows me to continue to grease the wheels of this crypto machine so I can continue forward. That's it. So I'm trying to wrap my head around on the courses, the seminars, and the events. Whether that happens or not, who knows? But it is a possibility, okay? And so bottom line is there are so many options. Now, there's 4 options on the screen showing here, but there's like 400 options, 40 options, 4,000 options. It's really about your creativity, what you want to try, and what you want to dabble in. At the end of the day, money makes the world turn. You cannot donate hugs and kisses to your charity. They don't want it. They want your money. You can't pay your bills with those things either. So this is where I'm at. This is where I'm putting my stake in the ground, and I'm saying this is my career. This is my life going forward, and I need to provide. I need to provide in order to continue to doing what I do in this space and to do bigger things. So these are all the things that I'm trying to plan out myself, and who knows where they're going to end up, right? Maybe one takes off more than the other. Maybe one or a bunch fall flat on their face. I don't know. But the key is for you as well is to start thinking about different things. Don't get married to just one idea and stick it out unless you've got a steady source of income somewhere else and it's significant enough where if you were to leave, it continues, or you have some other thing set up to the side where if you leave what you're currently doing, you're fine for the foreseeable future. But I would say even still, there's nothing wrong with having more streams of income, right? Making money in this space does not mean you do not believe in the technology or don't see the end goal in terms of what the technology can provide to the masses. That does not mean that. It just means that maybe you can survive long enough to be there when that mass adoption happens, and not even just be there. Like for me, like I want to be at the forefront. I would love to gain knowledge, help people, make money, all those things, and be be the face of it. Of course, why not? Why not? So these are my thoughts. These are some of the ways, that are available, and there may be a bunch more that I'll find going forward, and I'll share those as well. So hopefully you guys found some value in this. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, notification bell. Leave some comments if there's things I've missed out or there's things that you're unsure about, and we'll go ahead and make videos accordingly. All right. Hope everyone has a great weekend. If you celebrate Easter, happy Easter, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.